brand new grant for Utah, Idaho, Oregon, and Washington is helping to bring mental health resources to rural communities.
Cambia Health Solutions donated the money to provide tools to help people with mental illness brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic. In total, $11.5 million will be dispersed throughout the western United States.
We were selected in order to be able to provide $2 million grants over the next 2 years to rural Utah. And this is specifically to address mental health and wellness needs in rural communities.
Some of the initiatives that will be funded include a 24/7 support line for people in emotional distress, expanded safety net programs, and work to reduce mental health stigmas in rural communities. If you're going to be in Draper, Sandy, or Midvale this weekend, be prepared for some construction along I-15. Between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. on Sunday, one northbound lane will be closed from 90th South to the I-215 interchange. Then, from Tuesday to Thursday, two northbound lanes will be closed from Bangerter Highway to 114th South. Those closures will be in place from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
The big takeaway here is that if you have to be on I-15 northbound this weekend, you're going to want to allow yourself some extra time. We could see delays of up to 20 minutes or more from Bangerter Highway to 9400 South.
All of this construction is contributing to the I-15 northbound project, which will add an additional lane to the interstate and complete a new ramp system between Bangerter Highway and the I-215 interchange.
We are inside a chocolate factory. I mean, look at this. You have to have a hairnet and everything to be in here. This is where the magic happens, but it hasn't been as easy lately to get these goodies on the shelves. We'll tell you why.
And later in sports, new opponent for the Jazz tonight following a rough start to the road trip. And who's ready for some gymnastics? The Utes are, not to mention everybody else, with all the in-state schools set to battle on Saturday. Back in a bit.
If you're just joining us, here are some of the top stories we're following this evening. An avalanche above Park City killed a 31-year-old Clinton man this morning. Crews found his body this afternoon after several hours of searching through unstable snow. This is Utah's first deadly avalanche this winter. The man's name has not yet been released. Governor Spencer Cox has signed an executive order to help facilitate a faster rollout of COVID-19 vaccines. Teachers will be offered the vaccine next week. Then every Utahn over the age of 70 will be eligible for the vaccine on January 18th. All long-term care facilities in the state must complete first dose vaccinations by January 23rd. Twitter has permanently banned President Trump from its platform, citing a risk of further incitement of violence after Wednesday's riots in our nation's capital. It comes a day after he committed to a peaceful transition to the incoming Biden administration. The president says he will not attend President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration. Well, if you've been dealing with the pandemic with comfort food, brace yourself.
Some chocolate shops in Utah are seeing shortages and issues getting the supplies they need to keep you comforted. Fox 13's Sydney Glenn takes us to Hatch Family Chocolates in Salt Lake City.
There's a little bit of everything here at Hatch Family Chocolates. You've got chocolate-covered gummy worms, you've got chocolate-covered apples, you've got chocolate-covered almond clusters. But things even as simple as those wrappers that you see right there have been harder to get lately.
You have to be on your toes every day with it.
Chocolate.
It can be finicky.
Takes work in the kitchen to become something beautiful.
It is amazing what all you can do with chocolate.
Katie Masterson has been sitting in places like this, making chocolates like these for more than a decade.
It's a bundle of pure sugar joy.
After the magic happens down here, from the chocolate to caramel.
My grandma's recipe of caramel is what we still use today in our shop.
The goodies are moved upstairs.
I get to eat chocolate every day, all day long. That's my job.
The case full of sugar is fun to look at and eat. It hasn't been as easy to get the chocolate into customers' hands, co-owner Stephen Hatch says.
And that could be dry goods for the little cups that the chocolates come into, to, the chocolate itself.
COVID and wildfires in California have created issues for this shop full of sugar.
The factory we get our chocolate from is in California. During the forest fires, they actually even closed down for a week or two.
Together, they have found a way to keep wrapping up chocolates, filling up the case, and providing a little bit of sweetness during a crazy time of life.
I hate that old cliche of it takes a village. It really does.
One of the owners says that business has been down about 40% during the pandemic, but they say through that they found different ways to adapt to make things work. At the chocolate factory, Sydney Glenn, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Sydney's restraint was outstanding during that story.
Looks like a cute little shop, doesn't it?
Man,
Yes.
delicious.
Well, hey, we're heading into tonight and tomorrow morning, and whatever your comfort food is, if it's maybe some hot chocolate or some cider, I think that's going to be the perfect time to break that out, as we're going to have that chance for snow later this evening. Now, we are also going to see an improvement to our air quality with this storm that's going to move through. So looking up right now up towards the Cache Valley, air quality is unhealthy for sensitive groups down through Brigham City. Into Ogden, it gets to be a bit better right now across the Salt Lake Valley. Up in the mountains, air quality looks really good, and into Utah County, we'll continue with that yellow moderate air. But tomorrow we'll see a brief improvement as this storm brushes by, and then we're going to have high pressure as the main story, and that means no storms. Air quality will be getting worse as we just have high pressure in the forecast for next week. So tomorrow, air will be back to good for Salt Lake County. That's the forecast from the DEQ. By Sunday, we're back to voluntary action and moderate air, and then it will just be getting worse throughout the week. Now for tomorrow, we're going to have some gusty conditions for southwest Utah. That's why there's a wind advisory that's been issued. This will be until Saturday at 5 p.m. This starts, I think, at 2 a.m. So overnight tonight after midnight, that wind is going to start picking up, potentially up to 55 miles per hour. And this is going to be enough where it could have some issues for high profile vehicles near the mouths of those canyons. This does exclude St. George, but this is for the canyon areas of Washington County. Now, satellite and radar shows you that snow approaching right now along I-80 from Elko over through Wells, starting to approach Wendover. So we do have some snow coming down for the highest terrain of northern Nevada and eastern Nevada. And looking at the bigger picture here, you can see that that's really all we have happening here in the western part of the country. So we're going to have that chance for snow later tonight into early tomorrow morning. We'll keep that chance for some snow to maybe have some showery activity through the mountains of central Utah through the afternoon hours, but it's really going to move through here quickly and clear out the air, and then the air will get worse starting again on Sunday. But temps right now, Wasatch Front, about 30 to 35 degrees in the 20s right now for Logan, 17 for Vernal, Moab, low 20s, same thing for Green River and Price, and for St. George right at 50 degrees, 40 for Cedar City. Salt Lake through 9 o'clock tonight, we'll keep those temperatures in the 30s, and then we'll drop into the 20s after that. Overnight temperatures here across Utah will be about 15 to 25 degrees by tomorrow morning, and then into the afternoon, we're going to have those highs around 25 to 35. So get ready for temperatures to be a little bit colder tomorrow afternoon compared to today. We're also going to have that wind really picking up across south